So are we going to bother having these overlays?
No, I wouldn't bother, they're no good.
Oh, okay.
Hello and welcome to All Around the Board. Today we'll be taking a look at the Crystal Mosaic expansion for Azul. This is two things that you get in the box. You will get an overlay, which is questionable, and you get a double-sided board, which you can see just here. We're going to play either side of the board and explain what's happening as we go. There are some minor differences, so we'll point those out as we play. So we're going to start with this side first, and you'll notice you've got some ×2 spaces. So when you fill these spaces, whatever the situation is at the time, you're going to double your points for the moment that you place down that tile. So if I place one straight away and just filled it in on its own, it will only get me the 2 points instead of 1. However, if it was the 5th tile out of the whole column, I'm going to end up getting 10 points potentially instead of 5, and it doubles the row and column, so you want to strategically place these at times when you're going to double a big score. So yes, timing it well. It makes you play the game slightly differently, so we're going to show you how that works. Just a brief reminder on how Azul works. I'm assuming that you know all the other rules for Azul, but just a quick overview is you would take a colour, all of one colour, off a tile, put it into your play area, and the other colours will go into the middle, and then from there you can either select from the middle or select from one of the tiles. So with this Azul expansion, the only thing that changes is the end of round scoring. So what we're going to do is we're just going to show you each of the scoring phases after each round, then you can see our final score and how we got that. Other than that, we're not going to film us actually taking the tiles. Once we've done this side of the board, we're going to do the exact same on the other side, where we will just show you each end of round scoring phase. Okay, so this is the end scoring for round 1. So I'm going to move this one to here and get 1 point. I'm going to move this one all the way over to here to get myself another point. And obviously this one gets discarded. And this one is going to move all the way over, scoring myself 2 points. And the other two aren't filled up, but because I took the first player marker, that goes back to the middle, and I lose a point.
Okay, so I'm going to move my yellow all the way across to the end and get 1 point. Then I'll move my light blue to here and get a double scoring, so 1, 2. And get rid of that one. And then my black I'm just going to put underneath it and get another 2 points.
So at the end of this turn, I'm going to pull this red over and get myself 2 points. And then going to bring this one over. And it would normally be 2 points, but because it's on that, I actually get 4 points. I can go then down to here. I'll place this here, getting myself 1 more point. And my yellows are filled up as well, which is going to go here and get me 2 extra points there. Now it's worth noting that the minus points are different as well to the original. So I do lose my point for the first player marker, but it's worth noting that I don't lose any points for this extra one I took.
Okay, so I'm going to move this black along to here and get a point. And then I'll move this blue along down to here and get another point. Put my red one here and get 3 points. Okay, so and then I'll move my blue to here and get a point. And I get a -1 point because of the blue down at the bottom.
Okay, so at the end of round 3, I'm going to move this over and get myself 3 points. I'm going to move this one over just to here and get myself 2 points. I will move this one over into there and get 4 points. And I'll move this one over to here and get 1 point. Then I've got to look at my minus points. I ended up with quite a few minus points there. So -1 for that one, and then -3 for those. So that's -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that one's no loss, which is good.
Okay, so I'm going to move my blue to here and score 4 points. So then I'll move my yellow over to here, and that's 2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay, so the end of round 4, I'm going to move this over here. This is a double pointer. So what normally would get me 7 is going to get me 14. 2, 3, 4, so that's 21, 31. Then I'm going to move this one over, and that will get me 5 to 36. And then this one will go in here, and that will get me a full column, but that will get me 5. And then the final one, I'm going to move this over and get myself 4 points just there. And unfortunately, I've got a lot of reds to work towards.
Okay, so I'm going to move my black to here, doubling my points and getting 4. 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to put my yellow just here. And that'll be 3, 4, 5. And move my red to here. That'll also get me another 4 points. And I'll get a -1 point.
And this is the end of round 5, and this will be our final score because I'll be completing a row. And I think, are you completing a row? No. Okay, so it's just myself. So this is going to move over and get myself 8 points. 2, 4, 6, 8. This one is going to move over and get me 7 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 61. And then finally this one, which is going to get me 5 points. And I didn't fill these up, and then minus points, I lose 1 down to 65. And I'll quickly do my end game scoring. I'm going to get 2 for this row, 2 for this row. I will get 7 for this column, and I've got 1 colour set, which is 10. So I'll get 4 for my rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for my column, and I've got 1 colour set, which is 10 points, so I go up to 86. And that is my final score.
Okay, so I'm going to move this over to next to the black, and that will score me 6 points. Okay, and then I'll move my blue into the middle here, and that will score me 4 points. Okay, so I'll move my red down to the end and get 3 points. And then put my yellow just in here and get myself 4 points.
And then any end game scoring?
Nope.
Apart from your minuses down there?
Yep. 1, 2.
So you've ended with 49 versus 86. Yay! I never win this. Right, let's go on to the other side. So now we're going to play the other side, which doesn't look like a lot of difference. However, the grey spots, you can put any colour you want. The coloured spots, you have to put that particular colour. Now, when I play, I try and do diagonals of the same colour. So if it might be black down the middle, but you can't do that in this version. This is really hard to play. It doesn't look hard, but it really is. Also to note that not only have you got the minus points at the bottom are different to the original, but you've also got different end game scoring. So a row will get you 3 instead of 2. A column will get you 10 instead of 7, and a colour set will get you 12 instead of 10. So a better way of scoring there. So we're going to skip to each scoring round, and then you guys can see how it goes at the end and see who wins. Okay, so I'm at the end of round 1. I'm going to move that over and get myself 1 point. I'll move this over to here because it has to go there and get 1 point. And then I'll move this one just to here and get myself another single point. And then I'll lose 1 because I'm going first on the next round. So I have a massive 2 points.
Okay, so I'm going to move my light blue one to here and get a point. And then because it has to go there, the blue underneath, so that gets me 2 points. Okay, and then this light blue has to go here anyway, so that gets me a point. And that's all I can do apart from my minus point from the bottom. And that's it. And they stay there until I get the rest of the colour.
Okay, so the end of round 2. And I'm going to move this over and get 2. I'm then going to move this over and get 2. And then I'm going to move this over and get 1, 2, 3. Now halfway through that round I figured out the pattern, but I'm not going to tell you guys because you guys can figure it out for yourself. But I've worked it out and I'm so happy. So hopefully if I go by that pattern for the rest of the game, should give me the win.
Okay, so I'm going to place this here and score 1 point. Okay, and I'll place this black where it has to go and score another point. That's all I can do so far on there, so I can minus 2 points.
Okay, so this is the end of round 3, and I'm going to move this over and score myself 4. I'll move this one over and score 1, 2, 3. Those 2 are not completed, and then I'll look at this one, and this will go 1, 2, here, and that will get me 4. And then I'll lose 1 point for the first player marker.
Okay, so I'm going to put my red one here and score 2 points. This red has to go over here, so I'll get another 2 points. And this red's going to pop right in there, and I will get 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Okay, and I'll pop that one just there and get 2 points. 1, 2. Okay, and I also get a -2 points.
Okay, so this is the end of round 4. I'm going to move this one over to here and get 1 point. I'll move this one right to the end and get myself 6 points. I will then move this one down to here and get 4 points. And then the bottom one here will go just there. And I'll get myself 2. And then I lose 1 point from this. So down to 31.
Okay, so I'm going to move this here. And I'm going to score 4 points for it. And then I'm going to move this yellow to where the only place I can put it, which is here, and get myself a point. And then with this yellow, I'm going to put it at the bottom here and get 5 points. And then I lose a point from the bottom. And that's me done.
Okay, so this is the end of round 5, and it will be the last round because I'll be completing a row. So this is going to move over and get myself 5 points. This is going to move over, complete the row, and get myself 8. So that's 4, 44. Then this one's going to come over to the end there and get 6 points. And then this last one is going to move right over to here and get myself 4 points there. And then for endgame scoring, I've got 1 row, which is 3. And I don't have a colour set, nor do I have a complete column. So that is me done. I finished on 57.
Okay, so I'm going to move this across and score 3 points. Okay, and then I will move my blue across and score 4 points. And then with all my points deducted from down there, I go back 5. So, and that's me done.
And then end game scoring.
I've got 1 column, so that gives me 10 points.
With 34. So I won again. Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to tell Jade the secret to the pattern, and she's going to kick herself because it's quite obvious. But yes, there we go. That was the brief playthrough of either side. So a big question is this expansion for you? Obviously, if you've got Azul, it would help. But if you are a big fan of Azul, this is a fantastic little addition. It doesn't change too much in the game. It just adds an extra challenge. And the fact that you've got 2 new different ways to play, it adds so much replayability to a game that was already quite addictive to play in the first place. Now, something we gave quite a bit of stick at the beginning of the video, obviously we were joking, were these overlays that come with the game. We don't personally like to use them because they move around on top of the board. There is the indents there, but they're not fantastic. The spaces where the tiles go are fine. It's more for the score track. It's hard to align it anyway, and then when you're putting the cube in, it's not brilliant. However, the expansion was only £12, so I wasn't expecting anything amazing for the overlays. Personally, we don't like them. But that does not take away from the gameplay of the boards that you get within the expansion. I'd still recommend buying this, especially if you are an Azul fan. So thank you so much for watching this video. Comment below if you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about this expansion, please feel free to ask. If you like what you see, consider subscribing just below, because then you can keep track on all my future videos. We've got quite a few series on the go at the moment, so there might be something there that you'll enjoy in the future. But for now, follow me on Twitter, Instagram and on Facebook, and don't forget to check out my Patreon as well. But in the meantime, I will say goodbye. Catch you on the next video.